My name is Nicole Hartley Bradford. I am a Fear Club space holder. And today I received a message from someone who is scared to feel their fear. And they asked, do I have a distinction about this that might help them to go ahead and dare to feel their fear? And I do. The distinction is that a communication persists until it is completed. This includes feelings, because feelings have information and energy. And both the information and the energy of a feeling continue to persist until they're completed. And it's not common in modern culture for these communications to be completed. What is common is for these communications to be blocked. And there are 12 roadblocks to communication that have been identified by an extraordinary man whose name I forget, and I will include it with the show notes of this video. An example of a block communication is when somebody, perhaps a child, perhaps a more fully grown person, says, I feel scared about something. And somebody says something like, oh, don't worry about it. Or, why are you scared about that? Or, well, you should do what I do when I feel scared. It's this. Or, fear? I don't have fear. Or something like that. And then the fear, the communication, the energy, and the information that the fear is bringing are blocked and incomplete, and therefore stored in the system. So no wonder there are people who are scared to start feeling their fear, because there's so much of it stored in the system and kind of coming up to possibly be completed. I know two main ways to start to complete communications such as fear. One of them is to work with myself, to hold space for myself, use a journal, something like that, to start writing down what my fear brings me, to start by noticing when I feel fear, not blocking it, not ignoring it, not pushing it aside, swallowing it down, all these normal habitual things, to let the fear get bigger and to say hello to my fear, and to start to say, I feel scared because, and let the fear speak using my voice so that I get the communication from the fear. Sometimes simply hearing a communication is enough to complete it. When there are other communications that don't seem to complete, when I hold space for myself, I go to the second possibility, which is to ask someone to hold space for me, to complete incomplete feelings, including fear. And in a space such as this, I highly recommend that you have tissues, a towel, a barf bucket, because sometimes there can be constriction in the throat that sets off the gag reflex as the fear gets bigger, because some fears that have been swallowed down are really big and they have big sounds and they have lots of energy in them, and opening up to that creates movement in the body. And it sucks to be in the middle of that and to not have a pail. So this is what that would be for. And what ends up happening as a consequence of having these communications from the fear being completed is that there's actually less emotional fear stored in the system. So this overwhelm that is so easy to fear, actually, what the outcome is in the completely other direction. There are many other Fear Club space holders, many other conscious feelings workers who you can reach out to ask to hold space for you. There are other resources where you can learn to hold space for your friends and to have your friends learn to hold space for you. And I invite you to reach out anytime to me for more about this. Thank you for listening. And Aurora, thank you for your question. Goodbye for now.